I'm going to show you guys early loot farming route that you can use. Only do this if you don't mind maybe losing some of the survival aspect of the game, because the game feels completely different when you're not running low on stuff. Because this is going to give you access to money as well. You will also be able to continually clear out ammunition from the trader in the first hub area that we unlock, which means you're also going to have access to being able to build up unlimited ammunition whilst you're doing this. What we're going to do is we're going to cycle 3 points of interest in the first area around the town hall. Once we've cleared them, we're going to be able to repeat them very quickly. I'm going to show you how this works in a second, and you're going to get the most out of this if you start a fresh day. This means you will need to have progressed the story a small amount, and this will just become naturally available to you within the main town hall area. I don't want to go over too much of the story just in case it spoils things, but it doesn't take very long, and then we just go ahead, we rest until the next morning. This is going to go slightly easier if you have the stealth expert unlocked and some throwing knives, because I've come to realize that at least in the early game, this is probably one of the most powerful items that we can use. So a couple of throwing knives will also act as a nice backup for you. Once that's done, we are now going to leave, and I'm going to choose to start at the north. We'll go through clearing all 3 of these out, even though they're very similar, but that's where we're going to go. And for that, we're going to head up to the top and make our way up the ladder. So obviously now they're outside, we're going to head to the north. I don't feel like you guys will necessarily need an entire route there, so we will just make our way down. But I want to show the entrance to this place, just so you guys can see that if we have some zombies following us, that doesn't even matter. So we're just going to get down here. Let's get some zombies. Look, oh look, I've been aggroed. Even though I'm aggroed, I just duck down and we come on inside, and we'll find these enemies that can't reach us. And so all we need to do is just hang out on this little precipice here where the enemies behind us can't reach. And we want to wait until this guy is showing its back to us. Okay, so we want to stop trolling away, and then we're going to get a stealth attack from behind it. We've kind of missed the opportune time, so we're going to wait here for a second. It's going to go start walking behind where you see that cabinet is, and we're going to go straight in. Don't worry too much about this one. So long as we're quick and we take out the main red enemy in here, we don't have to worry about the rest of them too much. So let me just wait for that to patrol around. He's patrolling off now, so we're going to start going in. We're going to get the stealth attack on him, stab it with a knife so it's nice and quick. And if we're lucky, none of the enemies in here have even aggroed yet, but if they do, there's nothing really particularly aggressive in here. So we're just going to go ahead, stealth our way around, take out the rest of the enemies. I'm not convinced you guys need me to do a play-by-play of every single enemy, so I'm just going to rush through this. And as you might imagine, we are now going to proceed to loot the entire area, which includes picking the door. Now, in case you don't know, the lockpicking here is exactly the same as in Skyrim. So we just move the wire pin until we find the right spot, unlock the door. And then inside, we will find that we have the locker. We'll go ahead and get this unlocked as well. Funnily enough, these actually give pretty good XP. So whilst it's not going to make you level fast, it's nice to get the bonus. And obviously with all of this unlocked, we can go ahead and start getting everything looted. Once you're happy you've picked everything clean then, or it's clear enough for you, we can go ahead and leave. I'm going to make our way to the next one. Exactly the same thing is going to happen, so I'm going to make my way to the Mega Store America right there. After a hop, skip, and a jump, same thing applies. Turn your light off. We're going to start heading in. You want to be just under the table, and we're going to wait until we get a good opportunity to get a back attack on the main red enemy. If for whatever reason it gets stuck or that's taking too long for you, another option is to use throwing knives. These things do a lot of damage over range, and we can just go ahead, get it in the head. That's going to take it out very quickly and allow us to clear the room, which we're going to use on it anyway. So if you want to take the slightly riskier approach, that is something that you are able to do. As with the last one, we're going to go ahead, clear this out of enemies, and loot it. It's pretty much exactly the same. We've got one door to unlock and some cabinets and stuff that we can go ahead and loot. With this one clear, we're going to go ahead, we're going to exit, and we're going to head to the pharmacy that is directly to the south. Now, you might notice that this is grey, and now the Vanity store has gone back to coloured. That actually means that if I wanted more feathers, I could go back there and re-loot it right now. So I'm going to show that in a second. But first, we're going to complete the run. I'm going to go ahead and do the pharmacy, which is just a small hop, skip, and a jump away. Just like the last one, we crouch our way in, make sure we're out of reach from the outside, wait for it to turn its back, and then we'll go ahead, get the stealth kill nice and quick, and then clear out the rest of the room. It's worth noting that I'm obviously doing this with my torch off. This is why we are taking less aggro. And then we'll go ahead and loot the pharmacy. Now that we have those 3 complete, we have decisions to make. This obviously just probably looks like at the moment we're just cycling certain 3 points that are giving us a good combination of resources. The trick right now is that we have a choice to make. You could go all the way back to the Vanity store, which will be fully reset. So all of the loot will be back in there, and the enemies will be back in there, and all of the doors will be locked. However, if we decide to go back to the Mega Store, because it's so close to the pharmacy, we're going to find that when we go back in, the loot has actually began began to respawn, but without the enemies. So this means that depending on what your goals are, for example, if you want more XP, you want more varied loot, you could go back to the Vanity store, which will then give us full resets on these two stores, or we can actually now just freely loot these two stores of the loot that respawns and wait for the other one to go back to being colored again, so that we can just continually keep picking loot up, which is what makes us so rich at such an early stage of the game. So hang around looting the store until the previous store started going colored. You may even find that some of the loot appears to be respawning whilst you're in here, as it appears to be on a timer. So you may even want to wait for it all to respawn, pick it all up so it all comes back together, and then we can go ahead, leave, and return to the pharmacy so that we can loot this one again, where you can see that now the loot is also respawning, giving us an infinite loot loop.